I'm going to let you in on a secret. There are two different types of groups within the circuit racing community. The first are those who believe that the best way to make a sandwich is by putting 12 different types of ham in the middle, followed by 16 different types of cheese. Then, when realizing the task of keeping it all together is nigh on impossible, they resolve the issue by smashing the bread with a hammer, or maybe even a power drill, a V8 supercharged power drill, with power being the key word. You see, their philosophy is simple. The more power within the car, the quicker the car goes. On the other side of the fence, you have a very different group of people. The type who will invite you round to their house for a barbecue and upset you by serving you up a plate which consists of spinach, celery and tofu. Because in their minds, it's not how much you eat, but more so what you eat. It's not about how many champion thoroughbred horses are charging through the engine bay. No. For them, it's about downforce, tyre pressures, and above everything else, grip. And that is what brings us here to the legendary Mazda Laguna Seca Raceway, to settle this argument once and for all. Power versus grip. Sit back, this is one you won't want to miss. So right off the bat here, what we're dealing with is a 6.4 litre Hemi V8. Now, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that during the construction of this battleship, the Dodge car group had the morbidly obese in mind, because this thing chucks out more horsepower than BMW's new M4, 470 to be exact. 470 divided by 13 times 119, carry the 1, subtract the square root of, that's enough power to carry 52 Big Macs in the trunk, one for every week of the year. And as you saw there, the end result was oversteer on the way in with shed loads of understeer on the way out, severely hampering our ability to accelerate out of the first corner cleanly up into fourth gear. 2 bites of the cherry as we fight to keep the back end in check. Interestingly, the car uses a front engine rear wheel drive layout. Now I can't help but question the logic behind this. You can't have a car this heavy with this amount of horsepower and just rely on the back wheels to get the job done. Quite frankly, it's stupid. It's ridiculous, and I fear the Challenger suffers badly as a result of this. Heavy on the braking, clipping the apex on the corkscrew chicane. The fries, the milkshake, they've spilt all over the place as we work our way frantically back up the gears trying to make up some lost time here. 115, 116, sliding the car around the second to last corner, getting the car ready to negotiate the infamous Bourne's Bend hairpin. Oh, beautiful. Foot down, hammer on the pedal, all the way to the start finish line. Come on! 1 minute 7.454. 1 minute 7.454. The Power Squad have set the pace. It's over to the Grip Gang to offer us a lighter and more organic choice on the menu. Clearly, a low-carb diet option is what Lotus have given us here, as the Evora has to make do with only a V6 and less horsepower. But that doesn't matter, because the lack of fries and bread rolls allows it to be a whopping 600 kilograms lighter than the Challenger. Let's see how much of a difference that makes as we go flat out across the start-finish line and begin the lap. It already feels like we're carrying more speed into the first corner here. And oh, look at that grip! The Evora! It's like there was a magnet hooking us around the apex there. Great stuff. Now, while this is also a rear wheel drive, two things differ from the Challenger SRT. Number one, the car is as light as a pair of skinny jeans. And two, the engine placement is more towards the center of the car. The end result is a machine that has balance, poise and near perfect 50-50 weight distribution. Puff of smoke from the front tyres there. I can't believe how quick this thing is. 130, that's as fast as I dare. Oh, it's bonfire night. Sparks are flying from the under tray of the car as we slice our way through the corkscrew like a hot knife through butter. Low fat butter, of course, with reduced saturated fat. Moving over to the right side of the track, it's Bourne's Bend. Oh, perfect. Looking at the clock, I can see we're already ahead. But how far ahead? Oh my gosh! 4 seconds! 4 seconds! What an absolute masterclass from the Grip Gang. They have systematically brought about the end to McDonald's, the end of Burger King, the end of Wendy's, the end of Popeye. How is the question? 4 seconds. It makes no sense. Now, for those of you who don't know, 4 seconds in racing is like 4 years, and that's the reason why I've had to bring back the Born 1.5 side-by-side profile cam. I need to know where the time was lost. Let the post-mortem begin. Now, as you can see, both the Challenger and the Evora crossed the start-finish line at the exact same time. And as we advance down to the first corner, we can see that it's neck and neck here. But as we exit the corner, we can already see the perfect weight distribution of the Evora making a big difference as it's able to springboard out of that first corner and launch itself into an early lead. Now, I mentioned earlier on that in spite of the fact that the Challenger has a bigger engine and spits out more horsepower, it has to carry an extra 600 kilograms, basically a T-bone steak and a rack of ribs. And because of that extra load, it feels sluggish, it feels slow, and it doesn't have the same power to weight ratio as the Evora, which feels more nimbler in comparison. And as you can see, the gap continues to grow. I'm absolutely astonished at the difference in performance here. I wasn't expecting it to be this big. The little Evora already on the home straight as the Challenger only now reaches Bourne's Bend. And as you can see, by the time it reaches the finish line, the Lotus had already eaten its starter, main course and dessert as it sits there waiting patiently with a toothpick in its mouth. Grip is victorious over Power. Looks like I know which one I'll be driving home.